Hello everyone, Spitefire H2O here, and I'm back with my co-host,
Paul, the evil warlord.
Anyway, I apologize for missing a few days and everything.
I don't because I'm evil.
Very true. But mostly the only reason why that I missed some stuff is because my dog died and yeah, stuff happens.
I'm still evil, but I care about that. That sucks.
Anyway, we're gonna be back to full swing. We'll probably start releasing these podcasts bi-weekly, just to make sure we actually have enough content, so that way don't miss weeks again.
Indeed. I spend far too much time torturing innocent souls.
I'm concerned now that you keep talking like that.
No, it's okay. See, I was doing a thing because we're talking morality this week. Morality in video games, morality choices, and just being as evil as you can. Just get all that good stuff.
Yep. So I'll be the good cop. You'll be the bad cop.
Yeah. Now you're gonna tell me where those drugs are, or I'm gonna have to get some force here.
Okay.
There's a backhand there.
He was gonna show me the strength of his god hands.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, as he said, morality. We're gonna be talking about all the fun stuff morality systems has to offer, good, bad, in between. If you think that you're a good guy or a bad guy, if the choices have actual impact on games.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah, instead of it being cosmetic stuff. Which, there's a game that sort of does that, but also has choices. Anyway, let's start off with a bang. Give me your best morality system in any game you ever played.
Okay, best morality system. I think, honestly, my favorite is probably going to be the Knights of the Old Republic game. KOTOR. Yes. I wanted to say KOTOR, and I had to actually work the acronym out there, which is weird. Yeah, no. You have games with just like a morality slider or karma, or even just like approval rating from different members of your party or whatnot. But I actually really like the slider between the light side and the dark side, because it feels like every little decision that you made, it's like you are going towards good or bad. Like, it feels almost weightier. Like, that karma has a very noticeable effect, and you are going to notice it, because the force and all that is a very you get karma and blend it into the force, and it starts having this actual aura kind of in your choices.
I forgot about KOTOR.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I just it does seem to give it more weight when there's an actual ethos behind it besides just general morality.
Yeah. I can agree with that. So that's your favorite of all time?
Honestly,
or the best morality system?
Yeah, no, just when there really is a little bit more weight behind it in the world, it's pretty cool how it works out. I like that.
Okay.
So yours. Yeah.
It's a bit hard for me to actually decide on this, but I think I'll go with Mass Effect 2's, because
the
more good stuff you do, the less fucked up your face is. The more bad stuff you do, the longer it stays fucked up, until you get to the point in the story where you can just repair it instantly. But,
yeah. No, I never actually was a huge asshole in that. If you are, do you actually have to when you when you give yourself facial reconstruction, when you continue being bad, does it actually get worse afterwards, or does it just stay pretty?
It's just Commander Shepard, so it's gonna stay pretty.
Well, I mean, kind of.
Oh, bang, okay.
Kind of goes without saying. But yeah, no, I never actually did that. So that would be quite a riot if you get it back and it's like, oh no, the evil is still showing.
Yeah, but then you just go back and fix it again.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know either. I didn't go the asshole path, except for some Paragon or Renegade actions they did, which were pretty badass.
Well, yeah, no, that's I do appreciate that moral system as well, because you're still kind of a good guy. You don't go full war criminal until 3, but you still have the same goal, which is the the furthering of your cause, your mission, and the general welfare of humanity. And it's like, so the ends justify the means, but you're still kind of a good guy. So you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
It started with punching out Manuel, and it just got worse and worse. Say goodnight, Manuel.
Although my favorite Renegade action in Mass Effect 2, though, was, well, I forget what planet it was on, but you basically like knock out the guy who's antagonizing you, then shoot a shipping container down and crush some more back up.
I don't remember that one.
I think it's one of the side stories that you did.
Okay.
Not the main story. Basically, Shepard just punches him, pulls out his sidearm, just knocks it down.
I never did play all the DLC for that game. I want to do like
it wasn't DLC.
It wasn't DLC. It was just a side story.
I think it was one of the loyalty missions.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for Garrus, I believe.
I'm kind of remembering it now. Yeah, I think my favorite Renegade action in Mass Effect 2 was pretty much any of the ones which end in one-liners. And of course there's a good cop, bad cop scene where you just pull a gun on the guy and he's like, geez, okay, let me just finish this entire scene. No, but like what's the one? I forget. Yeah. The one where you've got a merc cornered in like a skyscraper and he's like, I don't know anything. And you just shove him out the window and he's like, well then bye. I think he says you're of no use to me or something. There's some cool one-liner, but he's just like, can't help me, bye.
Yes.
Deuces. Fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff. I like when games have that type of morality choice, though.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, oh yeah, you do something bad, you're considered bad, but you can do something bad in a cool way, or something good in a cool way.
Yeah, use your... I don't like how they kind of put like a wall in front of some of the choices because you need to be good enough for like your conscience to allow you to do some sort of action in those games, but I do enjoy when it's like morality choice that ends in you doing something bad or something, well, mostly something bad. Morality choice that ends in you doing something bad in a way that you couldn't through normal gameplay. And it is always nice when it's not just through text either. You get like a renegade interrupt and you can just stop talking and shoot somebody. That's always fun. I love
that. One morality system I didn't like was the Fallout 4's one.
Did they even have morality system?
It was in terms of the companions.
Oh. Yeah.
Nick liked that. Nick disliked that. Strong disliked everything.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's not even really morality at that point. That's just approval. And I mean, you can be like I do kind of like games that throw out morality and replace it with approval because really you don't have a sliding scale. You just have the actions that you're left with and you can feel bad about them or not.
Yeah.
And it just ends up which party members you align with more. So you can be a huge, for instance, Dragon Age, the first Dragon Age. My first playthrough, I was a good guy all the way through, but then when it come to killing Logain, I was like, he could probably be of some good use. We could get some more life out of this guy and make him pay back what he's doing. And Alistair is like, okay, so you're not going to kill this guy who murdered my entire adoptive family and yours. And I'm like, didn't think about that. It's been, 6 months since that happened? Get over it, man. Who cares about war crimes? But yeah, that was an interesting one. And you don't have morality slide. You just have how much the people around you like you. And then he leaves. He's replaced with Logain. You go into the final fight with Logain, and you just glare at him the whole time like, this wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it for this, man. It's really interesting, the kind of stuff that you can do with that approval ratings.
Yeah, very interesting. One thing another one that I really liked was Fallout New Vegas's Karma and everything.
Yeah.
Fallout 3's Karma was all right, but New Vegas Obsidian's really good studio.
Yeah, no, they're just good.
But yeah, you can kill like some people of a settlement, and they hate you for it.
Mm-hmm.
You keep on doing it, and everything like you get mad, or you can be a really good saint and have Kaisar's Legion come after you.
Yeah, it is interesting too how there's it's not really approval, but it's like reputation. It's faction reputation.
Yeah.
So that you can actually, like, you don't have to. You're not bound by like morality when it comes to certain factions. There's no actual like moral limit. Like in Fallout 3, there would be some people. It's like you're an asshole. I've heard about it. I'm not going to go with you.
Makes you wonder how do they hear about stuff from across the wasteland?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, there's certainly not. Okay, I guess there's the radio, but there are no journalists that we know of. So,
Three Dog.
Yeah, there's some iffy
It's
world
funny when you kill
building
him.
there. Yeah. Oh, apparently I never did it because Three Dog, but apparently if you kill Three Dog, he's replaced by another newscaster that hates their job.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious because like he's such a great guy, but he cares so much about his job. Like he loves newscasting and just like being a dog.
Yeah, the lady who replaces him is just like, well, here we are with another song coming up. I really hate this. If some asshole wastelander hadn't killed my boss, I wouldn't do this.
Oh yeah, it's really just like an intern or something. Nice.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You don't pay me enough.
But if you think about it, to kill Three Dog, you have to kill every single Brotherhood member in the building. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was Brotherhood location as well. I am really behind on my actual knowledge of 3. There was so much that I never even did in the main, like in DC proper. I just never had the motivation.
Yeah. Fallout 3 is a fun game. It's just not as memorable as other games.
Yeah, it's got frankly shitty world building.
Everything looks the same.
Yeah, it's got a story that honestly you can barely care about. Like the main reason you want to save your dad is because he's played by Liam Neeson, and even that turns out to be kind of a fluke. I don't know, just not up to snuff with the original Fallout games, or even Fallout 4, which is really just Fallout 3 but with a facelift and mods.
Fallout 4 is a good game, just not a good Fallout game. I think I've said that before.
Yeah, no, we can. I'll sit here and just say that for an entire podcast. So let's,
entire hour of us going back and forth saying.
You know what I really hated about Fallout 4 though was there were no nude mods.
No,
I don't know. I was looking for something. Oh, of course there are. I was looking for some nonsensical placeholder there, and yeah.
I mean, I don't have like 90 nude mods on Fallout 4 or anything.
90. Oh God, don't even. I'm getting flashbacks. I'm getting flashbacks to some questionable screenshots from New Vegas stuff involving super mutant babies and shit.
I was kind of freaking out. I was trying to think if I sent you any screenshots of anything.
Don't,
because
doesn't matter.
I don't have any nude mods. I'm joking about that. I promise. I don't have any nude mods.
I don't have any either. For Fallout.
But Skyrim though.
No, I won't. I will not actually lie. I have one just like merely cosmetic nude mod on for Morrowind, and that's the only game. And it just cracks me the hell up because occasionally you can just take off your pants and it's like, yep, there's a pingus under there, just walking around with your. Just walking around with your dong out through Morrowind with like full armor, magic shield, a whole bunch of shit. I don't know. It cracks me up. Okay. Don't judge me.
He's bringing the bottomless trend to Morrowind.
I'm bringing sexy back to Vardenfell. Oh, God.
Okay. Before we keep on talking about all these Bethesda games, let's move on.
Yeah. No more will we speak about Nerevar's dong. Not once. Not even once.
All right. So the next PowerPoint we have is best, or not best. Well, I guess it can be either way, but most evil you can be. What game lets you be the absolute devil?
Oh, boy.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just riding the wave here, but I'm going to the one thing that I am going to have to say is that the most evil that I think that I've ever pulled in a game is the Fallout 3 Megaton nuke.
Oh yeah.
Because that I mean, like, you have some difficult choices in like RPGs and shit like that, and a lot of them end up being pretty bad. And I haven't played a lot of the older, more hardcore ones where you can do like villainous shit on a cosmic scale. But that's just premeditated mass murder for money right there. Like you're destroying a settlement who's done no wrong because a rich guy didn't like it on his horizon. That's fucking bad.
Yeah.
That's rough, man.
That's pretty evil. I don't think I've only did it once, and that was just to see what would happen. Like saved beforehand, and like went back and was like, okay, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I can't be evil in games. It's just not my moral compass.
Not my bag. Yeah, no, I it might be telling of my character, and I hope that it's not too telling, but like I like being good and then getting away with evil shit sometimes. It's like, yeah, I am really good. Hey, what's that? I stole all your money. Deal with it. I'm the Thane, bitch.
Oh, that's.
I did like cross chops.
Most evil I can be though. I would agree with the Fallout 3's nuke one, but another one that comes to mind is the infamous Second Son's evil ending.
I didn't actually. Yeah, what is that ending?
Basically, well, do you know about infamous Second Son, right?
Not. I mean, I know what it is and basically how it goes, but not pretty much any of the story.
Well, let's see. The game came out like a couple years ago, so spoiler warning.
And indeed.
Unless you don't really care. Do you care at all? Okay.
I've honestly never really been interested in playing that game except for the gameplay.
All right. Well, for the in the very beginning of the game, you are a Native American. Your tribe gets what's it called?
Relocated?
No, encased in a stone from like one of the conduits and everything.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Oh, but you're basically what you're trying to do is go all the way, find that conduit, and take the power from him so you can heal him. But if you're evil throughout the entire game, the leader, or I don't know if she's the leader, one of the elders of the tribe will like look at you and be like, "We saw what you did on the TV. We don't like you. You're evil. Go away."
Uh-huh.
And then you just basically kill them all in a
genocide.
dive bomb attack.
Yeah, genocide is always. That's yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are some headier options in. I mean, even Mass Effect, which you've already talked about. Like you can choose to like help get the genophage going more quickly, or you can. Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff you can do in that, but just for some reason, the idea of like, hey, there's a big bomb under this town, want to blow it up, and you just do it for kicks and like a little bit of money. That like the casualness of it is what really got me. But there are some worse choices to be made. Yeah, like that. Just the. I mean, I know that there's not forethought isn't something that really went into much of that game, but the fact that you do it just like that because this guy's like want to kill a town, you're like, sure, and you laugh about it. Yeah, you laugh about it and drink tea at the top of a tower.
Exquisite. Remember, pinky out while you commit genocide or mass murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was her name that didn't die? What's her
Moira.
name? Moira. That's why I was thinking, but I wanted to be sure.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. That's
so optimistic.
That's one way to put a nice little spin on that.
I like how she doesn't realize that she's a ghoul until you start talking to her.
Yeah. No, that's a little.
What? No, I'm not. I mean, my skin's just sliding off, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not a ghoul.
It's on the goofy side for sure.
Yeah. Uh, so that was a interesting topic, making me question how I play games sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Best gray morality choice. How can you remain neutral? Give it to me.
All right. I'm. Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going straight back, but I think I am gonna have to go back to Fallout New Vegas.
You stole the one I was gonna go for.
Yeah. No, I mean you want to go for gray morality and like choices that not only are hard but that you may not even understand. There's Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, like on the surface, it's just about who you want to put in power, but like in the long term, it's like the main quest is how would you run society?
Yeah.
How if you were in charge of the known world, how would you deal with it? And it's a little, it gets interesting, you know. You got a lot of things to think about. Like, do you want to go with autocracy and just shove the world further and further into progress? Didn't be like everyone else be damned and go with Mr. House, but in that case, he's like Brotherhood of Steel. Don't like them. Their philosophy will be a problem in the long run, and it's not worth trying to talk it out with them. Just go kill all of them. Just go do it. Go do it. Oh, you don't want to? Well, you're fired.
I think the best choice in New Vegas would be just go with Yes Man.
Yeah. Why exactly? Like what stands out to you about? Why do you think that an independent New Vegas is superior to the rest of the choices?
Well, because I don't agree with the Brotherhoods trying to or not wait NCRs trying to bring back the old world, because that world's dead now. You have to evolve, not go back to how it was. And the obviously the Caesar's Legion and everything, I don't like them because they're dicks.
Yeah, raping, pillaging.
Yeah,
killing anyone who shows even who even breathes the word gay.
Yeah, and what's else? Mr. House, he's a dick too.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So, and Yes Man, you can decide who you want to keep up and everything.
Yeah.
You can decide how you want to play it, how you want it to play out. Basically, well, I guess it's sort of like a egotistical thing, but you're like fighting for yourself then.
Yeah. I always went with Mr. House because he is a dick, and what the Brotherhood does definitely suffer, as in like a lot of them die, and you're pretty much just being a hitman at that point, which is morally not okay. But I figure it like this. Mr. House is one person, one very smart person who understands how the world works, and he's made it this far. Like he is effectively immortal.
Unless you decide to kill him.
Yeah. This is how I see it. Like, you go along with his thing, you just do everything that he says and treat him like a business partner, and then when you are risen to your point of immense power, and you've got so much experience behind you, like the best weaponry that the Wasteland has to offer, even with the army of robots, you could probably take over if need be.
Yeah, you could.
So obviously there's some gray morality there, but that's pretty much how I feel about it. I mean, at least I'm not a Caesar's Legion fanboy. It's like Caesar did no wrong. Ancient Rome lasted for 1,000 years. Blah blah. No, I. Just.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about Caesar's Legion and people who defend it. The most obvious, I think, is that without you backing it and making sure that everything goes according to plan, it will die off and become break off into nation states and tribes and become dissolved within a decade. Because Caesar is, for one thing, for one thing, he's not right in the head. I'm trying to, not morally. What's the word when he's senile. On the one hand, he's senile. And on the other hand, he's dying. So unless you put yourself entirely forward in the cause of Caesar's Legion, which will include doing a whole lot of bad shit, more than just murdering a bunker full of power-suited assholes. unless you put your absolute whole heart into the Legion to make sure that everything runs good, it's not going to go well for anybody. Like, it's going to end up bad. Vegas is going to be destabilized. Like, all of the culture that you eradicated will be for naught. It's just like, I don't see a win scenario in there. And even if you do put everything that you have into it and throw morality out the window, there's still a chance it's not going to be good because, you know, the immortality thing is what really stands out about House, because he's like, he might be a little on the senile side, but he's got something to keep him going for hundreds of years. All that the Empire really has going for it is, or the Legion, that is the luck of future generations. You're going to have to trust that your son and your son's son and everyone else is just going to be perfect and not corrupt, which, you know, already went really well for the NCR, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like, in there is a good chance that they're pretty screwed up any way you look at it, and I really don't like them just because they're retreading the same steps. And it seems like, honestly, if you went ahead with everything and put your whole heart into the NCR, it would be even less a chance of survival than the Legion. But yeah, I can't. Basically, I can't say that any of the choices would be a good idea, which is one of the reasons why it's so great as far as gray morality. But I have the most personal faith in Mr. House because he's made it this far, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That was really loud. This chair creaks all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have to do a whole podcast dedicated on Bethesda and Obsidian games.
Yeah, it could be done. The thing is that there's, like, I'm over here waiting for a new Obsidian Fallout, but they've done so much since then. Like, they do not rest. They've got, what's that one game that's all about villainy, like where you're the right hand of, like, the big bad of, like, all space and time. You're basically the Silver Surfer, but even more evil, and you're going through, like, standard fantasy fare, making really bad decisions because that's all you have available.
I don't know, but that sounds really interesting. I'll check it out.
I think it's called...
I'll just look it up, I guess. It'd be easier than just
God, what is it? It's at the tip of my tongue. It's not heresy. It's not villainy. Tyranny. It's called Tyranny. Yeah, there's Tyranny. There's Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. There's an enormous amount of good stuff they've made after New Vegas. And while I am attracted more to New Vegas, I think I need to get on that before I'm going to be able to speak at length knowledgeably about Obsidian and Black Isle.
All right.
But I am a little passionate about that. Not that anyone noticed.
Okay. How about the hardest morality choice you've ever made?
Okay.
This is gonna be interesting.
I actually may have thought about this ahead of time. It's not Fallout.
Okay.
Fable 3.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah. Fable 3 is a mediocre game.
Still fun.
Yeah. The combat is... Well, most of the gameplay, as a matter of fact, is shallow and bland. But it has pretty much everything else going for it, besides replay. The combat... and most of the gameplay is bland and shallow and repetitive. and there's not a lot of replay value, but everything else about that game speaks to me on a personal level. Okay, well, maybe not on a personal level, but I like it a lot. Just for anybody who doesn't know, the entire point of Fable 3 is about taking the throne from your brother, who is a tyrant. The thing along the way is that when you eventually do, because you do, you realize that he was in a very difficult position, which caused him to make some of these choices. And you have to choose, as king or queen, if you want to be just as bad, worse, or better. And lives are on the line. An entire nation, maybe a continent. I don't know how big Albion actually is in like square mileage.
Probably a nation.
Yeah. The lives of a nation are at stake. And I think that this is like millions of people. You know, it's probably a little bit larger than a nation considering population density and fantasy. It's fantasy. Who cares?
Well, I think like Albion's like a nation, but there's like still more of the world.
Yeah.
We obviously haven't explored.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you see they're making a new Fable, by the way?
Oh, as in Fable 4, not like a spin-off rail shooter?
Yeah, they're making Fable 4.
Okay.
I don't know who's making it, but anyway, continue on, sorry.
I wonder how much Molyneux is involved in that. Got 10,000 moral choices. Poor Molyneux. He believes it so much. He believes so much of what he says.
Anyway, sorry to derail your...
No, that is something to think about. But just... Sorry. It comes back to... I mean, even the quest, it's called, like, the... Everything up to, like, from your coronation up to the end of the game is called the weight of the world. And it really is like that. And it's not just like you're king now, you can do what you want, and you occasionally have to face moral choices. Like, every new day, basically... Or every new quest step, you have to deal with something. You have to deal with, like, whether to execute a murderer or, like, choices about infrastructure. You have to run a country. You have to actually run a country. And you do have a lot of time to just, you know, fuck around, kill goblins, do magic shit.
Dress in a chicken suit and make royal.
Yeah.
That's actually an achievement trophy.
Yeah. But even though you have a lot of free time because it is a fantasy game, you do start feeling, I wouldn't call it stress, honestly, but you start feeling the weight. And it really is, it's heavy. Shit's heavy. And it does, like, I don't want to spoil it for those of you who haven't played it and want to. There's not so much to miss in terms of gameplay, I'm afraid. But there is a charming story. There's charming characters and a good story and actually really good art style. But yeah, lives are on the line, and you start to see.
Oh, jeez.
You start to feel the weight. You know.
The game's an 8-year-old game or almost.
Yeah. No, I know.
Jeez.
I want to be inclusive.
Yeah,
but yeah,
damn.
That's the thing, is that it's not really one choice. It's not one choice that you do in one thing. It's basically a life, a series of choices, a reign that is a large section of the game, and it all comes down to one result. And you have to live with it. Yep. And that's what moral choices in a game are about. You make your choice and you got to live with it, and you feel something. The player feels something. Well, yeah, that's me. Fable 3 is it's I can't give it I can't even give it above an 8, I think, but with all of its little idiosyncrasies, it does make it into a good game, I would say. Even though it's not fun to play.
Yeah, just a little heads up for those who haven't played yet. Real estate, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, you can while the choices do have to be made and their lives at stake, you can definitely cheese all that shit and save everybody while being as good as possible.
Yep.
It's hard. It takes a little time, but you can do it. It's possible.
It doesn't really take that much time.
Yeah, well...
I mean, you still have to be a little bit evil because you have to raise the rent prices all the way up, but...
yeah.
But it works out, okay? So they're funding the Save the World. Then you pay a few extra hundreds of gold to,
Yeah, it's interesting. There's actually, I believe, an achievement called Tough Love, where you make every evil choice, but it ends up saving everyone. Like, not a single citizen dies.
Yeah.
Like, only the army, which is pretty...
Yeah.
It's like just the totality of it is almost scary, but you do save everybody. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you got?
It's a hard one because I wasn't now that you mentioned Fable 3, I don't think there's any other game that I can think of that's like that has such a major morality choice.
Okay, well, like what?
So it's a bit hard.
If you had to think of like one choice, just one that you had to take some time with, which one would that be?
See, the thing is, I played so many games, it's hard to decide on which one would be that big and whatnot. I don't know. I really don't know.
All right.
You've taken one that has ran through my mind before.
Yeah, I guess I kind of didn't give a compelling argument.
Yeah, and we've already talked about Fallout stuff too much in this part already. So I want to segue away from that stuff, but what game made me question everything? It's so hard.
I mean, I've got another one if you... Should I go for it or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Kill some time while I question my own morality choices. And now silence.
Kind of. No, it's. I'm just trying to think how to phrase this without spoiling everything. But the final morality choice of the Walking Dead Season 2 game.
I don't know, so.
Okay. Basically, the choice is who do you kill? And it's out of two people who you should trust at this point. And basically they come to blows. They're the last people that you have with you, and you have to decide which person dies.
Oh, okay.
Now, I cheated a little bit on this one. Not because I looked something up, but because when the choice actually came around, I paused and put down the controller and actually thought about it. And the pressure wasn't exactly on, like when I did that, but like this was one that I had to think really hard about. And yeah, it's not exactly the lives of a nation or the lives of everyone in a certain area. It's just two lives. But when it comes down to just two lives, you have people in front of you. It's not just the unwashed masses that you have to deal with. It's not like your race as a whole. You have two people, and you have to analyze them and judge them. You have to decide who lives and who dies in a very personal setting. And yeah, I couldn't actually deal with the pressure, so I just put down the controller and I had to think about it. I did come up with a definite answer, but it took a little bit.
Oh, was it the more popular or the less popular of the two choices?
I don't know, actually.
I thought that all Telltale games showed that at the end of the chapters.
Well, I'm sure they did, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
There is a choice to kill both of them, but you can't leave both alive, unfortunately.
Damn. Oh, but I thought of one that's also impactful for me, and that's Fable 2.
Which part in Fable 2?
I would probably go with the end game one as the most drastic morality choice, because you can either save someone who was killed at the very beginning of the game or save the entire world. or correction, bring back someone who died at the beginning of the game, or bring back everyone who was killed by the tyrant. That was. Fable 2 had a lot of good morality choices as well.
You know, that's interesting. I never knew that it was like that because that's the beginning of Fable 3. Kind of. Just like you save either like your childhood sweetheart or a bunch of like innocent civilians.
Yeah. And to be good, you have to save the civilians.
Yeah. No, it's interesting too because if you don't, then your crush is like, well, I can't look at you now.
Exactly.
And so it's would you rather have them live and then just
Back to Fable 2 though, since you talked good deal on Fable 2 or Fable 3, I want to at least talk some on Fable 2.
Yeah, no, get in there.
But Fable, that's okay. I'll give you a spoiler warning for this one because it's an old enough game. If you haven't played it by now,
shame on you.
Shame, but you can either save your sister who was murdered at the very beginning of the game by the guy who you kill at the very end of the game, or you could save everyone he's killed to get where he is into the position of power that he's at right now. So it's very deep because and also you actually get 3 choices actually, because the third choice is basically if you decide to have a kid or not.
Oh, then you can save your own child.
And you can save your wife and kid because they get killed too. So yeah, you get 3 choices technically, but and the dog too. The dog dies too in one of the parts.
Wait, is the dog separate from the kids and wife?
I don't remember.
Because that would be hilarious. It's like kids and wife, sweetheart, everyone who's ever been killed by this person, which is a lot, or dog. It's like, let me think, dog.
Probably. I forget which one it is, which one the dog survives in. But yeah, the end game of the game sort of sucks because of that, because you still play and do stuff, but if you choose a certain one, you don't have your dog anymore. It's just like,
yeah.
But the game also has a lot of morality choices as well, because you can earlier in the game you can either let a girl get sacrificed to Reaver to get him young again, or give your own youth to him, so that way she survives.
Huh.
Did you play Fable 2, by the way?
No. I haven't played Fable 1 or 2.
I feel sort of bad about spoiling this a bit.
No, it's all right. I've pretty much been semi-spoiled on the first 2. I mean, like, if I wanted to play them both through, I would just play it for the RPG part, see how the gameplay matches up, because there's very little in 3. And I mean, each of the Fable games have come out at least a little bit half-baked because Molly knew, but I still have a passing interest in actually getting into them, putting my hands on them.
Yeah, Fable 2 is a fun game, but yeah, comparing it to like Fable 3 is just like
yeah.
I haven't played Fable 1 yet either, so there's that.
It's a real shame that Fable 3 ended up, for lack of a better word, sucking so much, because there's a lot of money, like craft and pure love, that actually went into making the story, the characters, like the voice acting is fantastic. They got what's his name? Ben Kingsley. You get Ben Kingsley in a game, you better have some deep pockets or some serious love put in there, because yeah. He plays like a tiny gypsy man. He's perfect.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Simon Pegg was in that one too.
I think Fable 3 had a good voice cast.
Yeah,
like I think I recently looked it up. But yeah, they had like a really good voice cast for that game. I think Nathan Fillion was in it too.
Fillion, huh?
I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna look it up before
I would believe it. And was Stephen Fry in that one as well? Because I know he was in the second.
Stephen Fry, maybe, I don't know. It's yeah.
Oh yeah. John Cleese and Michael Fassbender, and what did Nathan Fillion play?
I don't think he was in it now.
Oh,
I will check. Oh yeah, Simon Pegg was Ben Finn. Okay. Oh, he's not in the top one, so I guess he wasn't in it. I'm an idiot. I forget which one he played. That.
Stephen Fry was Reaver again. I forgot he wasn't
Yep.
Yeah, no, some names and some talent, some serious talent.
Yes, some very serious talent.
God, I feel bad honestly now for forgetting that. You go to the start menu and you hear John Cleese. Like that's not something that most games have a claim to.
Yeah, exactly. For a game that has that many good voices in it.
Mm.
Oh, Troy Baker was one I was thinking of, but he just did like minor role in the Hobbs.
Yeah. Well, that's Troy Baker. He's like a big name in voice acting, right?
He is. Him and what's his face?
Yuri Lowenthal.
Nolan North.
Nolan North. That's the name I couldn't think of. Yuri Lowenthal's done some stuff as well, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about best voice actors one of these times here.
Very true. Although I'll have to look him up and get everything. I lost track of where we were.
I think we were just about wrapping up, but Fable's good.
Yeah, Fable is good.
Fable is so disappointing. It's also good.
Oh yeah, we're talking about voice actors and everything.
Yeah.
And how I'll have to look up some more other than Troy Baker and Nolan North, because those are only two I really know. Tara Strong's another one I know too.
Yeah.
Although she's not in games, she's more in she's in some games, but she's more in pop culture stuff.
I am.
Yeah,
no, but there's
a lot of good voice actors.
I want some more. Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, I love David Hayter, but what's his face did in Metal Gear Solid 5? I can't remember his name right now.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, him. I guess that makes sense why they chose him, even though technically it's a bit off still, because Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes takes place a little bit after, like a few years after Peace Walker did, which still had David Hayter, so it's amazing how his voice would change in that much in that little time.
Well, he got messed up though at the beginning, didn't he? And he lost his arm.
Well, that's spoiler warning. Okay.
No? Well, he has a rocket punch. Like, come on.
Well, Ground Zeroes is actually Big Boss.
Well, yeah.
And Metal Gear Solid 5, that is not Big Boss.
Right. I mean, it's Venom.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I forget.
But yeah. Kiefer Sutherland does do a good job for as many voice lines as he has.
Yeah. Yeah, MGS5 is another weird, slightly disappointing title, but it's also fantastic, and it's MGS. Kind of the last one, so.
It's a good game on its own. It's another one of those things where it's a good game on its own, but it's not that good as a Metal Gear Solid title.
Yeah. I believe it.
At least in my opinion. And we're not going to talk about Metal Gear Survive. It flopped.
Yeah,
Flopped big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I would rather talk... it's funny that I say this. Like, if you don't have context, it sounds a little weird, but I would rather talk about what's that actor's name that played Daryl Dixon? Durrell. You know good old Durrell.
I do, but now that you mention it, I can't think of it. The freaking name, Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Norman Reedus. I would rather talk about Norman Reedus I would rather talk about a pregnant Norman Reedus than talk about Metal Gear Survive, and that's actually relevant, strangely enough.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of hyped about Death Stranding.
Oh,
Death Stranding.
Do you even need to say it, man?
I know, and the best thing is we don't know what it's actually about. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, no, it's got.
That's how you do trailers right. You give them something that makes you hyped for it, but you don't tell what the game or movie is about.
I honestly would like to know a little bit more than nothing, but that's certainly a way to build hype. You just show off a fucking art film.
Exactly. I want to see some gameplay trailer, see what the gameplay is actually going to be. Then I'll be happy about that.
No, I honestly have a feeling that it's just going to be an even trippier version of MGS5. I mean, are they allowed to use the Fox engine, or are they going to have to build some jank-ass shit on their own?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they'll do fine, but...
I think the Fox engine is under Konami still, so probably not. I think probably build their own anyway. I mean, Sony gave them a blank check, so they're gonna have some fun.
I bet that they'll just rebuild the Fox engine, have it be nearly the same, and call it like the Fox engine.
Kojima engine.
Fucking, I don't care at this point.
He
Do what
better-
you do, man.
He better make a cameo in the game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he'll just be on the cover. I don't even.
You just see his beautiful face faded into the background.
Yeah. No, he's like they set his up. He just took like a JPEG of his face, set it down to like 1% opacity, and then pasted it over the fucking box art.
No, his entire face is the reverse of the box art.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
No, that actually would be great if it was just like a whole bunch of like screenshots from the game molded into like an arty, like faded version of his face, and it's just like, this is me in a
collage.
game. Yeah.
I've always wanted to actually try to do that, but I haven't actually had the time, nor do I know how to do that type of stuff.
Art's hard.
Art is hard. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here, everyone.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening if you made it this far. If not, what the hell's wrong with you guys for not sticking around?
I do hope you had fun, because I know I did. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, we have fun doing this stuff. And yeah, thanks everyone again. We'll see you guys in the next one, which will be 2 weeks from now. Actually, yeah, we're going to do it bi-weekly from now on. Just to get some content back up.
Yeah.
And yeah. Thanks again, guys. Bye.
Ciao.